Mics are hot. Boom. Welcome back to Johnny Custom Glock's Front Sight Press, where, as usual, I am here with Julie and Jeff. Noggin. All
What's
right.
up? Happy Thursday.
Was everybody's week? Everybody good?
Crazy
world.
Crazy
world.
Like, I think like half of my clients all decided to get arrested over the weekend. So that's good news for me, but it's also pain in the ass when you got to keep going to first appearances and calling people at 8 in the morning on a Saturday and visiting people at the jail for 3 hours. So it's kind of one of those good news, bad news situations.
But the good news is Jeff's getting a staccato.
The good news is I'm paying the mortgage. Staccato? I don't think so. Might be a new motorcycle maybe in the works. I don't know. Now,
nice.
So it's been a crazy week, but it's almost over.
Yep. All right, let's do this. Let's get to spanking the sponsors. All right, so first of all, like a chair, and comment in case your security settings don't let us know that it's you. All right, head on over to Musings with MGL over on the tube. All right, if you're not following him, get over there. And don't forget to rumble with us. I need some more rumblers. Saw the rumblers this week.
Rumbling, stumbling, fumbling.
So I need more rumblers. So get over there on rumble.com/C/musings with MGL. All right.
Yes.
And set up the account because I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff on Rumble. Gabriel and I got a channel coming out. He don't eat, I don't cook. So I'm going to cook stuff and make him eat it. So we're going to do stuff like that. All right, but get over there. Where you at, Jeff? Where you at on the tube?
I don't know. You put me on the spot here.
Oh, sorry.
It's probably the same as it was last week, if not. I got a bunch of comments again. Some of my videos like go through these ups and downs where like nothing happens for a while, and all of a sudden, I think it gets shared again on something or whatever, and then everything starts going spiking. So 8,950. So ooh. I'm only. Oh yeah, 8,950. So still 1,500. So I gained 300 subscribers since last week, I think, maybe something like that.
Wow.
So yeah,
pretty good.
So 8.95. So now I need 1,500. 1,500. Nice. So yes, please go like, share, subscribe, comment on all my videos. Even if you say I'm stupid, or you don't like my hat, all of it helps the algorithm and helps all the stuff going around. So please go to Musings with MGL. There's a bunch of stuff going on in the legal community these days. So keep up.
Tell your friends. I got like a bunch of views on Instagram, thanks to, JCG and the Wickster and Shark Coast. I've got like 15,000 views in the last probably 6 days or 7 days or something like that.
Yeah, I think the Shark Coast stuff has a lot to do with it. Whenever they do post one of their things with us, it sort of drives people over to my channel and they start checking out my stuff. Like I said, I still have that one video that's just like the one that went viral and blew up that still has the most views, and it still keeps getting comments like every day on it. So it's all it takes is the one, and the next thing you know, your channel goes through the roof. So doing pretty good.
How many views you got on that thing now? Any idea?
I don't know. I'm trying to find my customize. Let's see. Yeah, 333,000.
Wow, that's a nice number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not bad.
70 watching.
All right.
Yeah, some of my other ones have gotten real big too. I've got a few of them that are now in the thousands and thousands. So yeah. So anyway, enough about me. But yeah, go over there, subscribe, follow my stuff. I'll be putting out some new things here once things kind of calm down a little bit, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, come check me out on Instagram at Train Emporium.
Train Emporium.
It's friggin' going pretty good right now.
Hey, Katrina Sanchez is on.
Hey,
wait. I'm gonna go find you on Instagram right now.
Sean's on. Sean and Corey both said,
Instagram.
"Can I win?"
Train Emporium.
Thank you, Corey.
Jimmy Kemp's on.
No, this is just about a store that sells a bunch of old trains, man. What the hell are you talking about?
Train Emporium.
Right. Established in 1951, this museum. No, I'm just fucking with you. So, Train Emporium. All right. Post. Follow. All right. You got another.
Now you can say stuff like my daughter. Like I post something, right, and she's like, "You need to put some powder on your head. It's too shiny."
Oh, I would never do that.
Yeah.
I have an Instagram page that out of boredom I started like 6 months ago, and all I do is follow like all the hot celebrities and stuff and see what's going on with all the hot chicks. I don't really talk to people that post things myself. Yeah.
Well,
So now you're right. You know, it's you, Demi Moore, Halle Berry. Like you're right in there, man. You're all in there.
Nice. Finally, I'm getting some friggin' respect around here. All right, let's spank our sponsors. So, our king sponsor. Very nice. Johnny Custom Glocks because life is way too short to have a Glock trigger that sucks. So, if you got a Glock trigger that sucks, it's on a 43X or a 48 or something like that, go get one of, can't see it now. No. We'll go in Julie's window.
There you go.
There you go. Get one of these 43 11s. Like, I'm getting ready. I got a new 43X. I got to take over to him and have him hook it up. Oh, and I want him to do the, at least my friggin' 17T, my Simunitions gun.
Yeah.
Nice. He's got one of my Glocks over there. He's working on right now. So yeah, tell him I said hi.
All right. So go check him out on all his social media and go back in time and check out his old stuff where he's giving away what he does on the triggers and stuff like that so you can learn something. Now we'd like to spank our Jester sponsor.
And then when you learn how to take that Glock apart and mess with that trigger.
Oh, yeah, baby.
That's some great friggin' camera work right there, man. I'm digging it.
I know, right?
We're always taking us up with those armors blocks. And if you ain't got one, then you can't win because you don't try hard enough because that's what it is, right? It's got nothing to do with Sean winning all the time or Maria winning all the time or whatever. You're just not trying hard enough. Or Kat winning all the time. But that wasn't
Sean doesn't even get a block. Sean doesn't get the blocks. You just got to be below Sean.
Yeah, that's right. See, I think Kat was like double dipping because, you know, she had Burn watching and probably making him like do all her stuff. And that's how she won all her stuff. I'm just saying. I don't know what's going on over there. I'm just saying.
Nezzie's on.
Nezzie.
Lana's on.
All right. So if you go over to Smoke Show 3D because you can't win your armors block and if you got a G-Lock, you really do need one. All right. Go over there and use your FSP 10 and get you 10% off. Okay. Right. That's all of them, all the fingers and the thumbs. So go check out that and say thanks to Sean for always hooking us up. And last but not least, the Self-Defense Emporium. Oh yeah. Hooking up us with giveaway for the hours on the simulator every month. So thank you to SDE, which will be open soon.
Tomorrow, I heard, right?
Yeah.
Everybody go down there tomorrow. Big grand opening. Tell them I sent you down there.
There you go. Yeah.
Ask for Mike.
Yeah, I've asked. We got memberships. That was
like away free coffee. You're giving away a Glock or something I hear.
Don't say shit like that.
Oh no.
But it will. I know we keep saying
I'll be there. I'm just saying. I'm gonna show up tomorrow and see what happens.
Oh boy.
It should be really soon.
Dennis has a question. Can I order some standard gauge track? What is that about? I don't know what that means.
Standard gauge track.
Standard gauge track.
You talk about train tracks at the train emporium?
Oh yeah, probably from the train emporium.
Okay.
Yeah, we just got some in. It's dent and scratch stuff, so I'll give you a deal on it.
Nice.
Someone said he needs more people to buy them, his blocks. He just bought a $5,600 smoker.
Oh, sweet.
I need more
Definitely go
people
buy
to
them.
I thought he was gonna say he just bought a new, 3D printer or something.
I thought he was going to say he's tired of giving them away for free. He needs to start getting people paid.
Yep. All right, so let's get to the toast.
Mhm.
All right. This toast is about staying sane in an insane world.
Mhm.
Just everybody keep calm and let's just keep moving on. It goes something like this. You know what rhymes with Thursday? Alcohol.
Really weak on the toast here, lady. We used to spend like 30 seconds Googling toast, and now you just go right into it. You just make it up. In our pre-production meeting, we used to spend like 30 seconds looking for toast.
That one burns.
Is it still the bourbon from your thingamajigger?
Yeah.
So what fruit
30
cocktail
weeks of it.
you got this time?
This one had like stuff in it.
Like
That was the
wheatgrass
rough. Unless it's like 130
Tobacco?
proof or something.
It's 69 or 61.94% alcohol. So that's like 100, 130 proof, 123.
What is it?
61.94, so almost 62. So
Yeah, so 120 something.
Yeah.
All right, so that's why it burned.
Yeah. It's got caramel, cinnamon, nutmeg, butter, stone fruit, whatever that is, orange, black cherry, and smoke.
So the flavor
They put all that
tasted
shit in one bourbon.
It felt like my tongue was on fire.
Yeah.
That wasn't bad, I guess.
Mm.
It's like we're at, what is it, the polite pig? Wow, this is I'm actually feeling. I don't understand why I'm feeling it. All right.
Yeah. It's all over.
Like, just let you know, you're gonna get a slight taste of what that was like in a minute.
Yeah.
All right, so what do we got going on? What do we got going on?
Oh, sure. Hang on a
I
second.
don't know.
Mike
Tell me.
McGowan, need me to send you a bottle of Everclear 190?
No, I'm good.
Everclear.
Oh.
Everclear. What? Enjoying your days of college? Everclear.
Yeah. My liver, trust me.
19 years old at your first high school party, and that's all they got.
Camp's on.
Well, hey, Cap, I just talked to her a little while ago. When all my tests used to come back, my yearly tests, right? My doctor used to get pissed. He's like, it seems that your liver and your kidneys are fine. And I'm like, and you're mad at me. He goes, well, you got to understand with your lifestyle. I'm like, what lifestyle is that? I don't know what you're talking about, doc. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to drink to you tonight.
Mm.
But when he's like, you can't drink. I'm like, not at all. He goes, well, I drink during the show Thursday nights. He's like, what do you drink? I'm like, something clear or bourbon. He's like, what do you mix your bourbon with? And I go, what?
My spit?
What do you mean what do you mix your bourbon with? Yeah.
Good times. An
ice cube.
Hey, we're up to 14 people.
How about that?
Ah,
We're rocking
cool.
and rolling. Yeah. All right. So got some final inspections done this week. All right. So everything's coming down to the nitty gritty. So we're getting closer and closer and closer. Had a instructor from the sheriff's department in there today. I'm walking in. I took him into the shoot house room, right? That section. And he walks in, he looks, and he goes, oh. I go, feel free to touch yourself. I'll look away. So that was good. I've had some cool people in there checking stuff out. Everybody seems to be very excited. Hold on, I'm sorry, but I got stuff going on outside of this.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big day tomorrow.
Jeff, here's a
Looking forward
question
to
for
it.
you. Did our Second Amendment
Yes.
rights in the big, beautiful bill?
Yeah, we're going to talk about that tonight. When we'll get here, we're going to get some little stuff out of the way, and we're going to talk about the big, beautiful bill and suppressors and everything else. It's on our agenda.
All right. So I guess they got a new roof. Out at
We got to get all the Emporium stuff out of the way.
Gun and Archery Club. So yeah, the Emporium, like, we got all the stuff coming in. We got our orders ready to ship. We just need everything. Just needs to be finished. Like the bathrooms are up and running, which is great. Now you don't got to walk to the other building to take a leak. Just everything is just being finished up, and we're gonna put more pads
Finishing
on the
touches.
wall in the
2
fight
weeks.
room. Yeah, I mean, you never know. It's like 2 weeks. We may be open in less than 2 weeks. It's just everything's coming together. Like all the coffee equipment's in, all the stuff's all set up. Thanks to Marco hooking us up with, taking care of us on deals and stuff like that, showing us how to use. Like we got some really friggin' high dollar, high end coffee stuff.
Coffee.
For a bunch of people.
The coffee's all
don't
set up.
have
The coffee in the gun shop is ready to go.
There it is. So
Matt Lincoln is on. Hey.
What up, Matt? Me and Matt are always messaging back and forth on the gram.
Barry Chris is here.
Is there going to be stuff other than coffee?
Yeah, it's
We'll have iced tea.
We'll have teas, stuff like that.
That's
We'll be selling stuff. We're not cooking anything, but we'll have food to heat up. Like we'll have fresh empanadas every day. The Colombians, they're picking the food. So I got nothing to do with the coffee thing besides, I love Marco. That's it.
Wow.
But
you come in for an empanada, a coffee, and a Glock. That'd be awesome.
There you go. Like I ain't
While
gonna
you're
lie,
waiting for your background check.
empanadas.
And while you're waiting for your background check, you can have a coffee,
Yeah,
get a snack.
Empanada. We got to do some sort of deal, like buy a gun and a holster, get 2 free empanadas or something like that.
Hell yeah. That'd be great.
But all right, so let's talk about the big, beautiful bill. How did it affect us?
All right. So I'm going to give everybody a civics lesson, and then we'll talk about the Second Amendment. If you've been following the news, Trump has been trying to push through this big, beautiful, it's the biggest, most beautifulest, biggest bill you've ever seen of all the bills, and the bills are the beautiful bills in the history of the bills. No one's ever seen. I talk to people. No one's ever seen a bill like this. They say it's so big. I've never seen a bill like this before. So
big and it's so beautiful. It's the most beautiful.
Yep, this big, beautiful bill they've been trying to push through that has all kinds of stuff in it. The normies care about the tax cuts and the cuts to Medicare and Medicaid and the spending cuts and all that kind of stuff. So they've been putting this bill together in the House of Representatives, and they're trying to do it through what's called reconciliation. So the way they normally pass a bill, if you remember your Schoolyard Rock episodes, the House creates a bill, and then the Senate creates a bill, and then they kind of exchange bills, and then they negotiate bills, and then the House votes on a bill. It only has to pass by a simple majority, but the Senate has to pass the same bill basically by 60 votes, because they have the veto in the Senate that it's got to be by 60 votes. That's kind of like a veto-proof majority over there, or a filibuster-proof majority, not veto, filibuster-proof of 60 votes. Obviously, they don't have 60 Republican votes in the Senate right now, so any bill that went over there through the normal process would never pass, because all the Democrats would vote against it, so it would never pass. Well, they have this thing called reconciliation, where you can pass budget bills, things that have only to do with money, either spending or getting money, through this process of reconciliation, which means the bill starts in the House. They do the bill. It's not like a House and the Senate do a bill and then they exchange and works them out. There's one bill that comes out of the House. It can only deal with budget matters. That then goes over the Senate. The Senate can tinker and mess around with that bill a little bit, but they basically have to pass that bill. They don't pass their own bill. And they can do that with only needing 51 votes. You only need a simple majority. You don't need the 60 votes. So they've put together this big, beautiful bill with all the stuff in it through through reconciliation. Well, they were able to, you call it slip it in or whatever, but inside that big, beautiful bill, they put in a provision out of what we used to call the Hearing Protection Act to remove suppressors from the NFA, the National Firearms Act. As you know, if you want to buy a suppressor, you got to pay a $200 tax stamp to the government to get your suppressor permission slip, basically, to go buy your suppressor. So they've added in the part of the bill that removes that from the NFA, which means you don't have to get a tax stamp for it anymore. It becomes like any other item. You would have to pass a background check to buy it from a store, but you don't have to have a tax stamp anymore. The reason they can put it in there is because, like, what did I just say? You have to pay $200 to get a tax stamp. So that makes it a revenue item. It's a tax item. It's a revenue item. So they get to put that in the spending bill, even though it technically has to do with Second Amendment. But because it's a tax stamp that they collect money on, that makes it a revenue bill. Therefore, it can get put into this reconciliation package. So they slipped that legislation in there, and it passed the House yesterday by one vote, 215 to 14, because they had a couple of Republicans that defected, but they passed the House by one vote. So as this big, beautiful bill of all the bills of beautifulness and all the bills of the world, it currently contains a provision to remove suppressors from the National Firearms Act. Now that bill has to go to the Senate, and they aren't allowed to create their own bill, but they are allowed to make tweaks to this bill in order to get 51 senators. I guess you need 50 because you could have a tiebreaker and then J.D. Vance can break it. But to get the right number of senators, they are going to have to make some tweaks to this bill. Is this one of the tweaks that they may pull out or change around? Who knows? If they don't, if they tweak with other stuff, Medicaid spending or whatever, if they tweak some other stuff, but they leave that provision in there and then they pass the bill as is and the president signs it, then yes, suppressors will by law be removed from the National Firearms Act, and you will no longer have to get a tax stamp to buy a suppressor. You can just buy a suppressor. You will not get a refund on any of the tax stamps that you've already paid for or anything along those lines. It's not a retroactive refund bill. It just means going forward, you will not have to have a tax stamp. So that's a long story short, is keep an eye on it, see what the Senate does with it. If they don't strip it out, if they leave it in there, then it will, because this bill is going to get passed in some form or another, because it's going to have to, because Trump's going to insist on it. They got enough votes over there, but there's a few tweaks that they're going to want to make to it. So it's going to get passed at some point, probably in the next week or so, a couple weeks maybe. And if it doesn't get messed with, then when it gets signed, you'll be able to walk in any shop and just buy a suppressor and walk out with it that day and not have to pay $200.
Nice. Perfect timing.
Now, obviously, when you get a tax stamp, you have to wait, usually have to wait a couple months or whatever. For a while there, it was like almost 9 months to a year you'd wait for your tax stamp. Now you got to wait 2 or 3 months. What's going to happen, though, is if this passes, you're going to have to wait 2 or 3 months for the inventory, because you're going to go into a shop in a week after it passes, and you ain't going to find a damn suppressor, and there's going to be a backlog of the manufacturers because the shit's going to be gone.
Back to the coffee. Nezzy says, you got a plan, get your customers all jacked up on espresso and they'll buy guns.
There you go. Get them all crazy like, I need a gun!
Right. And then send them out in the world all jittery. Just go to the range. Go ahead. You can go ahead.
Plan. So when we get them all jittery,
you'll be fine.
They shoot like shat, and then we're like, oh, you need a lesson.
There you go.
Right.
Good idea.
We've talked about that. It's a one-stop shop. Here's your gun. You don't know how to shoot it. Sign up for the lesson this weekend. And then if you have legal problems, call our lawyer after that. It's like a one-stop shop. And by the way, here's some fucking coffee. Enjoy your day.
There you go. Everybody all jacked up, send them home with guns.
Yep. Now, a lot of people are asking this question. Short barrel rifles are not included in this legislation. They tried to get SBRs in there along with the suppressors, and they couldn't get that particular amendment added to it. So the suppressors got in, but the short barrel rifles did not. So anybody who's excited about that, you'd still have to buy a tax stamp for a short barrel rifle. It's only for suppressors.
I'll buy one for my crank off. I can take the brace off it.
Well, yeah. Now that braces are legal again because they fixed all that stuff. You almost don't really need a short barrel rifle because you just put the brace on there.
Yeah, but I want a real stock.
And it's gonna kill lives. You should, if you're bored one day, just go into Google and search like suppressors now gonna murder people, or Trump is good for kill. Like all the moms demand this, every town this. It's insane. The Twitter sphere. It's all, oh my God, now it's gonna be like James Bond movies, and all these people are just gonna go around and like snipe people and kill people, and it's going to lead. They've done all these statistics where they're like, this is going to result in X number of more murders a year once this law, because it's crazy. So if you're ever in for a good laugh,
right.
If you're bored one night and you're tired of watching reruns of The Office or Friends or something, go and Google what the lefties are saying about this this suppressor legislation, because they are going off the chain.
Because only assassins.
Correct.
Use suppressors.
Yes.
Like if you go to Europe, you can buy suppressors like friggin' donuts. You know what I mean? Because they're like, don't make any noise. Like I've seen a poster where a lady's putting a suppressor on a 22 cricket, like that little bolt action thing, right? So she's putting it on that. She got a little girl standing next to her, and it says like suppressors for the children.
Suppressors. It's all about the children. Think about the children and their hearing. That's why it's called the Hearing Protection Act. That's all about health and safety.
Why don't the lefties care about the kids' hearing protection?
Right. They don't.
So inconsiderate and reckless. They're reckless. Right. That's what
we care about. The color of their candy and the dye that they use. We care about the amount of ADHD pills they get. And we care about their ability to hear without ringing. Like,
right. No,
we're the ones that care. We're the ones that care about kids. We're the ones that care about kids. I agree.
Gary, say it again.
They can't hear her.
Yeah, they can't hear. So interesting. So that's the update. That's the update. We got any questions about it or thoughts about that?
Yeah. What about the force reset trigger?
So the force reset trigger. Oh yes, good. Good call on that one. The force reset trigger. So that was an ATF rule. Once again, it was one of these Joe Biden ATF regulation rules that came out. It wasn't passed by the legislature. It wasn't a law. It was just a rule. And then the Trump administration just rescinded that rule last week, and they were classified as machine guns. The trigger itself was basically classified as a machine gun. And so they simply removed it and said, no, that's not a machine gun. So it's perfectly legal to have and put in your gun. The issue is, the caveat is this: that's the federal government. So under the federal law, force reset triggers are no longer machine guns and they're not illegal. However, in the state of Florida, under the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas Act, which includes a bump stock ban, that bump stock ban definition is so broad that it covers basically anything that increases the rate of fire. So every lawyer in the Second Amendment community will tell you that under the definition that we have for bump stock in the state of Florida, a force reset trigger is still going to be illegal. Binary triggers, force reset triggers, bump stock, anything that artificially increases the rate of fire is considered illegal in the state of Florida. So even though force reset triggers are now legal as far as the federal government is concerned, you cannot possess one in the state of Florida, because if you get caught with one, it'll be a felony under the bump stock ban. So Florida people cannot have force reset triggers. But if you live in another state that doesn't have a force reset trigger ban, it's legal to have one.
So you can still bump fire a gun, but you can't Because that's not illegal, right?
Well, yes, you can't add any device to the firearm that artificially increases the rate of fire. So if you could just fire real fast because you know how to use your finger or you know how to shoot properly as a bump, like, right, if it's something you know how to do biologically to speed up your shot, that's perfectly legal. But you cannot basically add any sort of device to the gun that increases its normal rate of fire.
All right. I was just wondering about that. Now, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Is a force reset trigger, is that a binary trigger? This is what we were trying to figure out.
No. A binary trigger, when you pull it back, it shoots.
Right. 1, 2, 1,
and
2,
when you
1,
let
2,
it go,
1, 2,
it
1, 2,
shoots.
1, 2.
Right. And then when you let it go, it shoots again. A force reset, when you pull the trigger back, you let your finger out to reset the trigger. This has a mechanism inside that forces the reset. So you just keep your finger pulled back and the mechanism forces the reset. So you don't have to do this. You don't have to pull it, reset. You just hold the finger back and the device automatically resets the trigger itself. So it increases the rate of fire because you don't have to pull the trigger more than once.
Oh.
That's why it's called a force reset trigger. It's a mechanism that automatically resets it after you pull the trigger without you having to release the trigger.
I wish I was told that, because the one time that I got to shoot one of them, it was ridiculous. It was on a Ruger 1022, right? I was just moving my finger. And it was like,
right, you're doing your normal shooting. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish they'd explain that to me. I wouldn't have to work so hard.
Yeah. Nope, you don't. You just pull the trigger back and the mechanism resets itself over and over again, which is why it increases the rate. It increases the normal rate of fire because it can fire faster than you can pull the trigger, because no matter how fast your finger is, it's not as fast as the reset mechanism.
All right.
Those binary triggers are freaky. The first time I ever shot one of those, you can tell yourself in your brain it's going to shoot when you let go, but when you let go and it shoots, it is very disorienting because it's just not like you're not used to it. Like, I wouldn't want one because it was just so disorienting. I couldn't. My brain couldn't wrap around how it logistically worked, and it was freaking me out. I was like, I'll just pull my finger faster because I can't. Like, it was, I just couldn't get it. Just couldn't get it. A lot of those things are like that. Like a force reset would be a little weird. The bump stocks. I mean, the bump stocks make you fire faster, but you lose a lot of control of it and everything. It's just, to me, it's all nonsense. I'm not sure I'd ever have any of that stuff, but it should be legal. Like, once again, I'll say, I don't agree with using it, but it should be legal. If your option, you want to have it, that's your stupidity.
Oh, when I do shit like that, then I'm anti-American.
But you don't say people should have it. You say open carry should be illegal. That's the difference.
Nope. I say, Hey, have at it. I just think it's stupid.
Where did I see? I saw an open carry story that, not here. It was like in one of the other states had it was another one of those things where, like, it was Alaska. Like, some liberal had gone to Alaska. It was like, oh my God, like, there's people walking around with guns. Like, why do you need guns, and why do you need open carry? And they were just panicking, and everybody's like, it's Alaska. Like, nobody here cares. Like,
plus, you ever been to Alaska? They have the biggest fucking live things walking around all over the place.
Everything, yeah, and everything will attack you. Like, even the nice, slow, pretty-looking moose at the end of the street will fucking charge you and step on your head if you look at it wrong. Yes,
like we pull into the commissary on this Air Force.
Their bears are like 5,000 pounds. Yeah, it's crazy.
Right. I'm sitting there, and I look over. I go, "Does nobody see that?" And my sister's like, "What?" I go, "There's a friggin' moose right there."
Yeah,
like it's like a thin truck without friggin' tires.
Oh yeah,
it's just like, they're everywhere. I'm like, how do you get used to that?
They are, man.
Like,
they're everywhere.
Those things in movies, climbing skyscrapers.
Yeah. Yep. No, they're everywhere.
Yeah.
Wolves. There's wolves everywhere.
We were out in Alaska. We got drunk with a what do they call them? Wildlife guy, like what's it called? Like we have
a ranger or whatever.
Yeah, like a game warden.
Ranger.
Like, we were drinking, but it never gets dark, so it's daytime all the time. So we're
It
getting all
does.
kinds
It's
of
crazy.
stuff. And he's like this. He's like, "You guys want to go see some bears?" Right? We're all drunk. We're like,
Fuck
"Yeah."
yeah.
We're all licking up, driving around. We go to his office, and he gets out like the tracker thing because this was back in like 2000 or something like that, right? So he gets this freaking tracker thing out, and we go and they tag him,
Yeah.
and we're tracking him,
Oh boy.
right? So we go to this place, and it's a freaking dumpster, right? And there's this freaking black bear, like, "Arr!" It's like, he goes, "Oh, don't worry about it. That thing's bear proof." And the bear's like, and he rips the thing off. I don't know what you guys think bear proof is, but you know, they had two like little babies, and that thing just like turned on us, and he's like honking a horn at it, and I'm like, that thing's mad. And we drank so much because we couldn't sleep because it was light all the time. Plus, we had like the weird jet laggy thing, whatever. So we just drinking. We drank this one store out of Labatt's Blue. We drank all the Labatt's Blue. Friggin' awesome. Or Molson Golden. Molson Golden, that's what it was. We had to switch.
Cheryl Smart said,
No, we
stories, Mike.
No doubt.
Yeah.
Hey.
No, we went on an Alaska cruise. I don't know. I would say like 3 summers ago. And yeah, all that shit's just everywhere. Like you're driving down the street, there's a big old freaking moose like standing there. There's like wolves that come howl at your door at night. There's fucking grizzly bears. Like every piece of water you go to, like there's whales out in the freaking water when you're going out on a boat. Like they're everywhere. It's beautiful. It's great. Yeah, and you're right. The sun doesn't freaking go down. So it's interesting.
There's a bunch of stuff you can kill and eat in Alaska. And there's a bunch of stuff that will kill you and eat you in Alaska.
Well, you know, they have like what they call a no waste law or whatever it is. Like if let's say you hit a moose on a road and kill it, you are required by law to call like the local waste company or what. When I say waste, I don't mean like garbage. I mean like don't waste stuff company. Yep. And every province or town or whatever has a designated like waste person. And so you call and say, "Hey, I just killed this moose." They call that guy and they come out and they carve the moose all up and they have to give the meat to like the Eskimos or the indigenous people or whatever. And if you don't do that, like it's a felony. Like you accidentally hit a moose at 2:00 in the morning and you go home and leave it dead in the road. Like that's like a DUI manslaughter out there. Like you'll get charged with a felony for not leaving the moose. Like you have to call the authorities and tell them where it's at, and they will send the guy out immediately to carve all that shit up and like give the food away to the locals. It's a federal.
If you hit a moose,
law.
first of all, when the tow truck driver comes and tows your car away, because there'll be nothing left of it, you should make sure he brings some sort of big ass cooler for you so you can put some freaking meat in there. Like if you be a jackass and you like carve up like, "I don't know what happened to this shoulder," you know.
Well, but I think you can. I think you can take it yourself. Like I think you're allowed to do that. You still have to report it because it has to be documented that you did it. Otherwise, you get a felony. But I do think they allow you to keep it yourself. And if you don't want it, then they carve it all up and give it to the local indigenous people or whatever. It's a weird. They don't have like property out there, meaning like you could hike from like one part of the state across to like the other part of the state, and nobody cares if you're going across their land. There's like no fences that say no trespassers will be shot or anything like that. They have like a really open like public land rule or whatever, because I was laughing about the guy because he's like, "Yeah, here in other states." I'm like, "Yeah, like in Florida, they'll put fences around and with signs and like, if you come on my property, I'll shoot you." He's like, "Yeah, no, here you just walk and nobody cares. Like it's not a crime to do any of that stuff." So it's a weird state. Let's just put it that way.
They just figure a moose will come stomp on you, and while it's stomping you, they can shoot it and eat it, right? And say it was self-defense.
Right, because you can't hunt them, but if you kill them by accident, you can keep them. So
I was just trying to be a good guy. That's why I shot this 1,800-pound moose.
Yeah, your car is demolished, but you might as well get the meat.
Well, right. So like after you call the ambulance to come take what's left of your body to the hospital, you have to call the local waste department to make sure they come get the fucking moose.
Went out there,
it's crazy.
We fished. Is it halibut? Is that what it is?
I guess.
Those big giant,
Those
it's like,
giant things.
yeah.
Yeah, the fish. Yeah.
Well, it's kind of small. It was like bigger than this table, right?
Yeah.
And it's like reeling up a barn door off the bottom.
Yeah.
I'm like, like, oh,
Everything
yeah,
is
that's
big
probably
up there.
halibut. I'm like, how do you tell? The line's just straight down. It's not moving.
Yeah,
It's
and
like-
they all open carry. You wouldn't like it because most of them actually open carry like big bore revolvers because they want the large caliber bullets so they can shoot the big animals. But we went to.
I got nothing against that.
Yeah,
we
went to.
I got nothing against them protecting themselves against friggin' things that are 13 friggin' feet tall
Right.
with a 554 Cazoo.
I mean, we went to one of the guys that ran the Iditarod, like he was an Iditarod champion, and now he has like a dog training place or whatever. And we were talking to him, and yeah, with it, all those Iditarod guys, they carry like big open revolvers basically on their side because they'll get like attacked by wolves and shit while they're out there doing the Iditarod. They'll have moose because moose will attack you too. Again, people think moose are like, oh, these big, majestic creatures. They'll fucking kill your ass. And so he's like, yeah,
things are angrier than me
because it was on the path. And like they couldn't get it to move, then it started like charging and attacking some of the dogs in the sled. So they had to shoot the moose and kill it. Then they had to call in where they killed the moose so they could come get it and carve it up and give it to the Eskimos. But yeah, so they carry, and they all carry the big ass like huge revolvers so they can carry the large like 357 style calibers so they can take down the fucking wild animals out there because they're crazy.
Barry Chris says, "Is there a moose on the simulator?"
No, we can make one. We'll go to Alaska.
Oh, you could do an Alaska program there and be like bear attacks you over here, moose attacks you over here.
Here's like you're on a dog sled.
Oh, dude, you can do an Iditarod. Oh, that would be freaking awesome. Plucking mooses and wolves and shit left and right.
I think we're on to something. I'm calling TI training tomorrow.
That snuck across the glacier there and ended up in Alaska. That'd be fucking awesome.
Jordan Bradley, I carry a boat. I was once attacked by a manatee.
There you go. Those bastards, vicious. Vicious.
They will, man. They'll like gum the shit out of the side of your boat.
Right. Timmy Miller was cleaning somebody's boat, right? Scraping barnacles or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he got the shit scared out of him because one of them came up and just started like squishing him against the boat.
Oh.
It's like, they call them sea cows, for a reason.
Right.
Like,
that's what they do. We were water skiing and one of the guys was floating in the back waiting for the boat to start. And one came up and started like gumming his shoulder or whatever. And he freaked out and panicked. They were like, come on, man. Like, don't be a pussy. He's like, when you're down here in the dark water and like this big thing comes up and starts grabbing your leg, you're like, what the hell are you supposed to do? I'm like, it makes sense, I guess. I don't know. You don't know, a little freaky, I guess.
Well, either a manatee or like a bull shark rubbing its ass on you, like
right. It's like one of the two. They're freaky creatures, though, man.
I'm sure I'd freak out, but I probably want to be like, give me a hug.
Oh boy.
I can touch you because you touched me first. Isn't that the law?
No, you can't molest a manatee. That is a felony. It doesn't matter how old they are. You can't molest it.
What if they're in love with me?
So Jordan said,
it's just like statutory rape, man. It can't be consensual. You cannot consensually molest a manatee. You cannot consensually molest a manatee. It's illegal.
But we were in love.
That's what they all say. I know she was 14, but we were in love. Yeah, that doesn't work. Same thing with manatees. Doesn't work. Law does not recognize that.
No molesting the manatee.
Speaking of weird cases, I want to tell you a funny story. It involves a case and
a manatee?
My daughter. You'll be very proud of her. So,
always
in summation, a guy goes into a house to confront another guy who may or may not have been doing something with his girlfriend. He goes in and he confronts him and he points a gun at his chest with a laser on it. And the laser is pointed right at the guy's chest. And he pulls the trigger and he shoots him. And then he flees and they catch him like several counties over. So it says all the parties were relieved because they thought he had been shot in the chest, but he was shot in the left leg. And my daughter says, well, it must have been a Glock because it shot low and to the left.
Perfect.
So there you go. Even with the laser. So
Even
thank
with the
God
laser.
it was a Glock, because it probably went from a murder because had it hit him right in the chest to an attempted murder because it hit him in the left leg.
Was the guy shooting left-handed?
The laser must have been really off. I don't know which hand it was in. It didn't really say whether he was right-handed or left-handed. It literally said the laser was pointed at his chest and he pulled the trigger, and then later they found out he'd been shot in the leg. So that laser is either way the fuck off or that guy's a bad shot. But
I don't know. It could be a little both.
But he's lucky. But my daughter said it must have been a Glock because it shot low and to the left. I'm like, yeah, sounds
That's my
about right.
girl.
Awesome.
All right. Let's spank the sponsors.
If you're going to murder somebody, don't do it in a house with like 7 witnesses.
Advice for the murderers. There you go. That's what we do here.
Oh, dear.
I don't care what that guy's doing to your girlfriend. It's not a smart plan.
Mm-mm.
Don't murder people. That's what we stand for here.
All right, sponsors.
Yeah, I'm going to spank the sponsors one more time. So,
Yeah.
I'd like to spank our King sponsor, Johnny Custom Glock.
Hi, beat her.
Where is she, in the bathroom or something?
Yeah, I'll do it again.
Give it to me anyways. Do it.
There you go.
Good enough.
You don't need no music. I got it.
Way too friggin' short to have a Glock trigger that sucks. All right. Our Jester sponsor, Sean Hilton at smokeshow3d.com.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, baby.
I'm waiting for the self-defense emporium to open so I can come from my Glock block class. I got to do something with this other than keep putting it in front of the camera. I got to use it.
All right. What do we got to give away? Do we owe anything?
Do we owe anything or own anything?
Oh. Are we behind on anything? Like,
Yeah, probably. We can give away a block.
well, we're going to give away a block. So let's give away a block right now. We'll do 3 things, and then we'll figure out for next week how far behind we are.
Go check the box.
And we got to go check, see what the dog's going crazy over. All right.
Is there a moose
Here we
right
go.
in your house?
I think so. You know, that Florida moose, very famous. I can't see. We'll move it up there. There we go. All right, spin it. Amanda. No. Jimmy doesn't win shit. No. Spin it again. There we go. The fix was in on that one. Mark tells you. Rick! He's got a Glock.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Rick in a while. But
He
talk
has-
to him.
He also has a block from before. I think.
All right. We need to get an order of blocks in.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna do 2 chances to win the hour. This is to win a chance to win the hour. All right, you ready?
Yep.
All right, spin it. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. Sean against the world. He's down 1-0. Uh-oh, Geneva creeping in.
Oh yeah.
Nice.
I had dinner with her in Pomona the other night, and she said she wants to come home.
Here we go.
You
You live down the
close.
street.
I know.
It's like not even a mile away from the place.
Work your ass off all the time.
All right, one more. Then we're going to call it a night. Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
Great.
Here we go. All right, so that's it for tonight. We'll figure out where we are and we'll get back on track. Give an hour away, 2 hours away, rather. All right. So, first of all, everybody for supporting us, watching us, and stuff like that. All right. Jeff?
I was just going to say, next week, I'm not going to be here. I'm going to Vegas for a few days. My birthday is May 30th, so I think next Saturday, whatever it is. So me and some of my cousins of similar age are all going to Vegas next week, leaving Wednesday, coming back Saturday. So I will not be on the show next week. I could certainly try and log in from the Strip, but I'm not sure where I'll be or what shape I will be in. So
Didn't you just have a birthday last year?
yes,
How many do you need?
I had one the
I
year
gotta go
before
with you.
too. I'm planning on having next one too. So
Next
I don't know
year,
what to
too.
tell you. Yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I'm going to have one next year too.
Awesome.
Every year I can have one is better.
Better than with it. Better be seen than viewed.
Yep. So you can see about finding a replacement next week, or you guys can do it on your own or whatever. But I will be on the Strip. I'll let you know if I'm up or down.
Awesome.
Very nice.
All right. So thanks again. Take us out. Play
Yes.
music. Peace.
Bye, guys.
See y'all in a couple weeks.